Now that you have set up your domain, okay, so let's see how to configure your company to begin with. So this is the left side. If you move your cursor to the left, you will see the menu, or if you want to show or hide, you can just click on show or hide and it will show the respective menu here. All right. Then you have the first thing is user management. From here, you can see the user who is there or is accessing the ERP. This is the username. Okay. And this is the email address and linked employee, the assigned roles you can give it. If you want to create a new user, you can click on create new and you can view the respective user. Now to begin with, it starts with a company configuration. Go to the configuration module. In that you will find the list of company details. Okay, so click on company details and then you can begin with entering the respective company information. This form will load. Write your company name. Let's say demo establishment, demo co-establishment. All right, and then you can type the address to be appear. Okay, maybe address can be somewhere in Riyadh or any part of the country. In full address, you can type your full address, Riyadh, KSA, city, the respective information, and the country can be selected. You can enter your CR number 101010 ABC and VAT number 1010 301010, anything, and the currency, which should be one setup. And here you can upload the company logo. Then click on save. That's it. You are done with configuring your company details. Now, to begin with the process, first you have to go with creating a customer. So here in the customer module, you can see customer list. Click on this customer list, and then you will find the customers created by default. By default, there is one customer created. If you want to create another one, just click on create new, and then fill the respective information of the customer. Let's say the customer name is XYZ Trading Co. Okay, you can write the short name, it's active. Then the customer VAT number, which should come in the print. Then CR number, you should come in the print. Then you can fill it here, customer type, payment terms, whatever, whether it's a VAT register or not. If it belongs to Saudi Arabia, you have to write VAT register. And the supply source will be Saudi Arabia and default tax. If it does not belong to Saudi Arabia, but it belongs to GCC, you can select either of these options. And if it does not belong to GCC also, if it's out of the Gulf region, you can select non-GCC. And here by default VAT 0 or enable come. So based on this, you can select if it's within Saudi Arabia, VAT register and non-VAT register. Based on that, you can select it. So I'm selecting VAT register, and here in the phone number you can fill, you can enter the respective contact person information. If there are multiple branches of the customer, you can fill that information. And then the print settings, name on the print address. And if there is any credit limit for a customer, like basically what is the credit limit, to what limit you can do. And if you want to skip the quotation and sales order from this limit, it will be excluded from this limit now. And then what is the maximum invoice amount that can be created in a single invoice transaction, and how many maximum number of unpaid invoices can be there. If it is 0, it means there is no limit. If it's more than 0, then there is a certain limit for it. So click on add, and I'm adding the customer. In this way, the customer is added. You can see here, the customer is created, this information. And now if you go back here, you can see the respective customer information, which is available. And then if you want to edit any information, you can just click on edit here. And then now let's say you are having a business, service providing business, you're providing some services to your customers. Okay, so now you will have to create a sales invoice as per the new regulations. So now go to inventory. In inventory, you have item management and categories. So if you want to create different categories, click on item categories. So based on this, your respective categories will appear here. And let's say I'm creating a category, click on create new. And now I'm creating a new category of an item. Let's say the category is nothing but something like rental services, which I'm going to provide to my customers. Okay, I'm having a business of some buildings which needs to be rented out, and some creating rental services. And here there is no parent category. If you want to create or parent category, subcategory, you can select the respective parent and it will be created under it. But this I'm creating as a parent category. So I'm clicking on create, add, that's it. Now the category is created. If you see it here, the respective category is there. Now I want to create a subcategory under that one. So then click on create new, and you can create a subcategory beneath it. So let's say rental services. This is for home or residential services. Okay, residential. I should come under the rental services. I'm clicking this as a parent one. Click on add. And this way, if you see, notice there will be now parent category and subcategory. There is no limitation. You can go up to any level. So now we have created our category. Now let's create an item. If you go to item management, you will see by default some items are created. And if you want to create a new item, click on create new. All right. I'm clicking on create new item. And now once create new item is created, you can fill the respective information here. That is basically inventory or non-inventory items. Okay, here, so by default in the gold plan, we will have only non-inventory items. So click on the category. Let's say home, I'm giving to home residential services. Type of service, rent, 6 months. Okay, item code, you can put it as anything, whatever you like, or by default, it will be auto-incremented. You can write the description also. Then after entering the respective information, okay, you can just write the selling price here one, but it does not mean that you are selling it with $1. Okay, you can change it while creating a sales order or quotation or invoice. So now unit of measurement is unit, single item, the brand, whatever the brand you want to select. And now here, basically I'm linking this sales income account and the purchase account. So what will happen once I make an invoice, it will automatically credit this income account. Okay, so I'm selecting my income account from my chart of account. So I'm selecting that respective income will be for sales. Okay, and the purchase expense account, I'm just selecting as an expense account. Okay, so here the item is assigned and that item is created with respect to assigned ledgers. Click on add. That's it. Now item is created, customer is created. In fact, the category is created. Now let's create an invoice for the customer. So I'm going to the sales module and I'm creating an invoice. Maybe customer will pay me now or later after some time, whatever. So now I'm creating a credit invoice for one of my customer. So let's say click on create new. This is a sales invoice screen where you can see all information. I'm just hiding the menu. I'm clicking on create new. Once you click on create new, here the screen will open with respective information. And now what you're able to see is the simple mode of the invoicing. It's simple. Select the customer and add the item. If you want the advanced mode, just switch by a toggle button here. Click on this one. It will go into the advanced. Now, from there, based on that, you can just select who is creating the username, regular invoice, or whatever invoice you're trying to create. And now let's select the customer here. I'm selecting a customer. Okay, if you just type it, it will come by default. I'm here typing it XYZ3 customer, and then respective information can be fed here. Then based on that, I'm selecting the memo to be entered, rent for 1 year. Then I'm clicking on add items, or if you know the item code, you can even type it here. Okay, or even the description of item is okay. So you can add the item from here. I'm adding 6 months rent. Okay, so here this rent for 6 months. Here the quantity is 1. Okay, and the unit prices, let's say my monthly rental which I'm charging to my customer is 1250, and he needs to pay for 6 months. So you can enter here 6 quantity, which means 6 months. If it's gonna be for 1 year, you can pay 12 year. Or if you want to pay it for yearly, you can just mention 1 as year, and the total yearly price, let's say it will be 15,000. Okay, so basically here is the description, and if you want to change the description, you can just double tap this one and change the respective information. You can type it in English or Arabic, doesn't matter. Rent for 1 year, starting from 21/1/2021 to 20/1/2022. Update, done. The respective VAT information has come here. Click on add. I believe it's very much simple to create your invoice. You can see the invoice is created with this document number and it is approved status. Then click on print button. And this is your print copy of your invoice, where you can see it is showing with respective information of the company name. okay, address, the invoice number. If you have uploaded the logo will be coming here. And then your respective information of its invoice, whatever the entered information is shown here, along with the QR code and the bank that you select in the print. Basically, you will select your bank here. In your terms and conditions, you have an option here to select your bank. It will come by default here. By default in the invoice notes and settings, you can select the default bank and it will come here. In order, if you want to appear different banks, you can create multiple banks using the bank management module. You can create different banks from here, okay, and it will appear. Just to show you how exactly it will look like, click on bank account management, and here is the respective information. If you want to edit this information, click on the edit button, or if you want to create new, another record, you can just click on create new and create the respective invoice. Now let's say there is a credit note. Okay, there might be a scenario where you need to have a return. So for that reason, you can go to sales module again and you have a return. And now you have to give a return credit note to your customer. Either it can be a credit note or it can be a refund. So go to sales module, click sales return. Now click on create new. So once you click on create new, the return module will open, the sales return form will open. Now you have to select the transaction against which you are trying to give a credit note. Basically, a return will be against the invoice. So without invoice, you cannot make a return or a credit note. Select this one, then select invoice because you're giving a credit note against the credit invoice. Then select the transaction number, okay, or even you can filter by typing one or the document number, or you can use this fast add button or quick search, quick lens button. Click on this and you can filter it based on the customer, by the date, what is the status. You can filter by respective criteria. Now I'm selecting an invoice. When you select the invoice, respective customer information and the branch, everything will come. And the return reason you can write customer returned it. Okay. And then the type should be credit. So once you select credit, if this invoice is unpaid, it will reduce the balance from it. Let's say you have made a mistake in the invoice and you want to correct it. As per the new regulations, you cannot change an invoice. You have to reverse the full invoice and you can change it. So I'm selecting here invoice. Link to invoice should be yes, and apply to invoice should be yes. Basically, it should be yes when only this invoice is unpaid. If this invoice is paid, then this cannot be yes. Yes, it should be no. I hope you got the concept. Okay, then click on add. So that's it. This is how you will create a credit note, and the credit note will be having a QR code and you'll be giving it to your customer. I hope that sounds pretty much okay. Thank you.